If you think about dieting, we often think that it's about the food we eat, the exercise that you do, and just the habits that we form. But really, if you think about it, look around, they don't work too much. There's one common mistake that can really derail even the most disciplined dieters.
This mistake is so subtle yet powerful, and it's the difference between the success and failure you have.
Did you know that about 95% of the diets fail?
I believe it.
Yeah, and when I'm
believe
talking
it.
about diets, I'm talking about these little programs from the South Beach to the keto diet. What other diets are there?
Yeah, there's Roaritarian, there's
Vegan
vegan
diets.
diets, there's so many different apps that have offer diet plans.
Carnivore diets.
Carnivore, yes.
Yeah, all these.
Atkins. Is Atkins still around?
Atkins is a different form of like keto. They
I
all
know.
changed names.
I know, but I'm just saying.
South Beach.
Yeah, South Beach. All of it's the same.
It's all the same because you can only eat carbs, protein, or fats. So it's a combination of all three of
Yeah.
those. So it can't be much more creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so people have tried all those different diets, all the ones we can't even name, all under the sun, only to get back to where they started from ground zero, from time equals zero, to not be much of an engineer. Time equals zero.
Yeah, they cut out entire food groups. They spend hours at the gym tracking every single calorie and just keeping a diary of everything. And they still, despite their best efforts, they just can't seem to stick to it.
They can't do it. And I think the reason is always the same, or nearly always the same. And it's a critical aspect of just dieting, and it's not about the food. It's not about the exercise, but it's about their own mindset.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is often you hear people, hey, I'm going to go for a 4 or 5 mile run, come back feeling good, all amped up, only to say, hey, let's go to the bakery and get a dozen donuts, and they eat 2.
3.
3 donuts, then they have 1 for dinner as well. And so there goes the benefits of
Their exercise. Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes once in a while is a nice treat. Once in a while.
Once in a while, completely once in a while. You can't, and it's not all about restriction. And oftentimes we do think about dieting is all about restriction. You cut out the donut long enough, or you cut out the fats or the carbs or the proteins, whatever it is, you eliminate all those different food groups or enough of the food groups. And then what happens miraculously, you're supposed to reach your goal, right? I'm not sure that's even possible.
Sounds miserable.
100% does. That's why 95% are not successful.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're having such serious restrictions. And if you're not eating certain things, you're not getting the nourishment you need. Plain and simple, right? So restrictions leads to deprivation, frustration, and you're just in this unhealthy cycle.
Yeah, and that's not sustainable. It's quite frankly, it's quite unhealthy. And you said you deprive yourself, you get frustrated, and ultimately, what tends to happen? That 95% of the people,
Failure.
boom, it blows up in their face, and they get they're frustrated, and they say, oh, well, maybe I died again, so they try to deprive themselves again, and then boom, what happens again?
Failure. It's a vicious circle. Yeah.
Very vicious, and before you know it, you are way above your weight when you first started to diet.
Because you're eating more. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that way, So I guess one of the key is that you don't want to be too extreme, because when you're too extreme, you're going to start out strong, but eventually you will crack and fail. Because what happens is you get frustrated or something.